Hi, Nidha. This is Karen, and I'm here with Nidha, who's a home trainer from California, and she um, would like to share some of her neurofeedback experience with us. So I just wanted to ask you to begin with, what led you to decide to do brain training from the beginning?
Karen, actually, I'm really not a person who likes medication a lot, and that's why I was looking for something that was, has less side effects, and for myself and for my child, because I have struggled with depression, anxiety all my life, and I've been on meds, so I wanted to help. I wanted to do something that was meaningful for my child. So, doing research, I came across neurofeedback, which was a non-invasive, and it takes work, but yet it's a long-term, long-term effects in a way that you might not have to rely on medication eventually. So we tried it in a clinic. To be honest with you, 3 times a week for about a year. But just before the pandemic hit, we wanted to we wanted something that we could do at home, because of the pandemic, we really couldn't have the option of going to the clinic as often, and there was a risk attached to it. So it involved my child. So I looked into a lot of home-based programs, and with neurofeedback, it does is the consistency, and obviously it's very, very you need to be very patient with it in terms of when you're doing the protocol and learning protocol. Learning how to do it was very easy. I've talked to many providers. Like, I was looking for a home base with a person that with a good support, because I was reading a lot of books and stuff on it. So I was really interested in it because I really believed in the technology. It just wanted to learn more and more about it because of my own struggles as a child. I never even knew this thing existed, to be honest with you, up until I was 37. So I started with Brain Trainer, and after my call with Pete, I just went ahead, and they had a payment plan. So this is one thing that was very much something that I really liked, was they had a monthly plan. I could not commit the equipment rental or make such a big investment at the time. And then, so I took the payment plan, I bought the unit. And as soon as the unit came, I procrastinated. This is my internal barrier that I do. I procrastinated for a month or so, and then eventually I reached out to Brain Trainer to start, and then I could hands down, I could say that the trainer that they match me with helped me. I don't care if it was 12. And once I started with Karen, if she's on East Coast and I'm on West Coast, so there's obviously a time difference. But when I started when she did the brain map with us, she reached out to me and said, okay, this is your starting point. This is what I see. This is what you need to know. And instantly the questions she asked me, and I start doing it. I did the protocol with the frequency. She helped me find those frequencies. And whenever I text, that within this matter of doing the protocol, or she was so responsive. And this is for throughout, even if you run into the software issues, sometimes I think that what is their motivation to keep going? How sometimes it really amazes me how they respond to your questions, in terms of, even though when there was times that I needed help with the software setup, somebody will call you like immediately, instantly. So so the it's not like you bought the unit or you got it and you have so much to learn and there's no support. Like the support piece was always there. Like it was always there, in terms of within matter of hours. Like I know hours would be too much to say. Like the turnaround time was really, really good, because with neurofeedback, you're doing a protocol, and if you run into a question or something that you need to answer, you need it right away, because you have done the work, you have the equipment on, and if you within few minutes, if you get the response, it's really, really helpful. And I think I cannot stress on it how important it was for me, because I have a child who couldn't sit for too long, and was trying to be patient, but it was hard with all the pandemic issues that we were going on. So so for us, we have stuck to it, on and off. I have tried it, my husband has tried it, my daughter definitely have tried it and loved it. It's just been a very good experience.
That's wonderful. So Nidha, can you tell me a little bit about the process that you used as far as training your daughter, how you got her interested, what the process was like as far as keeping her interested and motivating her, and also keeping track of her sessions as far as her responses to the sessions and your decision-making process that went into the training?
Yes. So, luckily, when we started with our home training, because when we did that at the clinic, it was not as effective, because because there was no communication in terms of the feedback, and I to be honest with you, I really felt that it was something that really worked. I was reading up on it and things like that, and I was just waiting for it to happen. We did see some changes, some improvement, but it was not. But what I was not able to get until I started home training was what worked and what did not work. Right. And the whole brain training is something with brain training, what I notice is full system. It's like 4 channel, like 4 electrodes you are using. At the clinic, we were using only 2, and we are like training the whole brain in terms of like you're covering the whole base, like whole head. Like when you're training from block 1, block 2, block
like
3,
circuit training in a gym.
Yes. So, but what you can really tell is, if you break that because my child can sit like, for an hour. So we broke it down, and with homeschooling, it was very easy, because you would do one protocol in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening. And, you could actually see the responses, how the child is behaving. Is she sitting still is an issue? Then, if you will find that, oh, I was able to focus better, or I was able to do this better, or am I not irritated? Like you can tell, all moms can tell, when you say something and the child is getting irritated, that, it might be because of the training, or maybe this protocol is not going well for her. So, or this worked. Oh, wow, this was a very good one, because, I instantly was able to observe that for next 3-4 hours, and I was able to make that decision going forward, that, okay, what, we are doing it. But overall, starting point is it's always best to start with the brain plan, and see and filter out what works and what does not work. Because obviously, when the time is of a limit, like, for children, they have to go to school now and everything. So, you pick out the protocols that really work, that to address the issues that they're having. Like sometimes they just have like the anxiety, like test anxiety, or, social aspects of things are bothering them. So, so that is a very good support for her.
That's great. So, and her interest in brain training has been maintained. She has been willing to train and eager to sit down, and she's enthusiastic about the changes in her life.
Yeah. You know what? It all starts with kids are very smart and they want to do better too. They want to feel better too. But then, you know what? It's a very good way to, you know, if you really put a positive spin to it and tell them that, honey, this is a long-term thing.
It's like going to the gym. It's not going to work like, you know, like a magic, you know, in day 1 or day 2. If you keep training, like 2-3 months into it, you will start feeling like, oh, wow, you know, like I wish I would have known about this earlier. I would have started at 8-3. So by 5, it would be so much easier for me, because right now I'm juggling so many things, after school activities, school, you know, and other related issues, you know, that come up that moms have to deal with. So I personally think if I had a second child, oh, definitely age 3, you're in the hot seat and you're getting yourself fixed.
Oh, be careful about the fixed.
Oh, yeah, that was too far. Yes. So I'm going to say that again. Yes, the fixed part. Yes, that was too far. Okay, no, but you know, it's something that, you know, kids are much more. I have seen here in Bay Area, kids doing 4 years old doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
What changes have you seen in your daughter that have been positive, that you've really, you and your daughter have actually been enthusiastic about, and you've seen potential and growth in her life?
It's a wide spectrum.
So her sensory improved in terms of how she was so sensitive to certain things like long sleeves. She always wanted to cover her body, and things like cutting nails and things like that. And then in terms of being just hyper, like, you know, much more calm, much more relaxed, not being irritated by, you know, noise. Like if there was she used to run to the window if there was a siren ambulance going or something like that. So those are the kind of things that I saw that kind of, you know, lost it. Like now, if there's some sound, she just kind of filters that, you know. So I just find that a lot of sound filtering that's really helped her, that she's able to do that. And overall, I think she just kind of feels herself, you know. She can focus better. And she's able to manage her emotions, like the self-regulation piece, you know, it has helped her a lot.
That's wonderful. And her studies have gotten better?
Yes, I could say that she's worked very, very, very hard in terms of in past, but got frustrated because of all that noise that she could not keep out of her head, or the part that the sensory overload that she was getting. But with training, you know, the sensory processing protocol that we did tremendously helped her, and then obviously her focus has improved many folds, I would say, because of training, because of her anxiety, because of her it's just overall the when your nervous system, you know, switches from that constant fight and flight mode, you know, you just become so much free, like, you know, you become like so much calm, and you focus, you sit down and you read. Like she reads books like her recent one is Serafina and the Black Cloak. That is like a 8th grade reading material.
Wow.
So,
and what grade is she in?
She's in 4th right now.
4th grade. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. And she has this, She's doing so well in her language arts. She's so motivated to go to school. Before it was like a barrier, like, you know, she knows. She would come home and she would tell me, Mommy, I think I need to do this today, or maybe we need to do a protocol on this. Like my fourth grader tells me this, that she's so involved in her own managing of her own emotions that she would come home and she would like tell me, like, Mommy, I think I'm stressed. Like, we gotta do a F3, F4, you know, or things like. It's really fascinating because she's so involved, and she reads. She reads a lot now. Her math. We would want her math to. She does have a very strong understanding of logic in terms of when she's doing her problems. That's what we've been told. But mixing up the signs and things like that, that is an attention piece, and she's very aware of that, you know. And I think Life Game has been a tremendous help for that, you know, because that kind of, it's very quick, it's very fast, because there's no hair involved. It really targets the area of
using HEG.
Yes,
Yes, HEG.
HEG.
Right across the frontal lobes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, and the headpiece is so simple with our hair, thickness of our hair, you know, making it neurofeedback friendly. We figured out the way. And so far it's just been, you know, the connections, but the support that we got, you know, all along the way from Brain Trainer, it was amazing. Like they really invested, like they really knew, they really go out. Like it was Karen Raw or Pete, whoever you got connected with and came across with. Either it was from ordering supplies to technical issues to consulting in terms of years of experience. Like talking to Karen is just like, it's like, you know, so much about it, like the reading leads you get, the time that you put into it. It's, you know, it's the resources that were available, and it has been a very pleasant experience for us.
Well, we're very happy for you for that, and happy for your daughter. That's it's amazing to hear the progress that she's made over the months, and also her enthusiasm to keep going.
Yes,
she's
I wish every child, and I really wish every child who needs it, I hope it becomes available to them, because it's so important, because all of them are so special, so smart, and to reach their full potential, you know, I think this is something that, you know, their self-confidence comes back to them. You know, they feel that they feel in control of they know they're special. They have, and they continuously work on themselves, you know, like this. It's that's what I've seen with my child, and I'm so grateful.
If you had any regrets, what would they be?
Oh, why didn't I start it earlier? Why didn't I not know that?
Oh, you would have started earlier.
Oh, yes. Hands down, with all the limitations that kids have to go through in terms of time. For my own self, you know, I'd rather do a session rather than going and, you know, shopping. It saves you money, and it helps you. And I have struggled with this all my life. I wish when I was a child, my parents would have done it for me. And I've worked very hard in my life. I'm grateful for everything that I have achieved, but I would have been a very different person if I had this in my life, the way I'm doing it for my child. And that's why I make it. And I even say that to my child. I said, honey, be grateful that, you know, we discovered this now. And, you know, and she even said that. Sometimes I said, oh, why did it took so long for me to find this out? It took me so long. And my daughter said, Mommy, you know what, be grateful that we found it now. What if I was 40 and I found it? Then what would you do? And it's so cute that she understands that, you know, this is something that it's helping her and she values it that way.
That's wonderful. Wonderful story. Well, I really appreciate you spending the time talking to me, and I know you have to go shortly. So thank you, Nidha, and we'll chat again soon. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. My pleasure.